Hello, welcome my bald bearded friends. In today's video we have a review of XS by Paco Rabanne. This is a pretty old school smelling fragrance and that's why I really like it. It is aromatic, fresh, spicy, also woody, but it has that typical 70s, 80s kind of fresh, masculine vibe. Even though it's released in 2018. And that's quite a story actually, because, well, in this packaging it was released in 2018, but they released it all the way back in 94, again with another packaging. This is the Flippo, the lighter opening. And this is what the write-up reads about the fragrance. The new packaging of the masculine classic Paco Rabanne XS 1994 was presented in 2018. The composition reportedly remains unhinged. An exuberant, woody, luminous and fresh, explosive spices and sensual woods. A fusion of extremes in a high voltage dry down the experience of XS. XS Pro is an exploration of the unexpected and extreme of the possible. A daring combination of freshness, transparency, sensuality and intensity with an enduring legacy. And it's a real fresh fragrance. So let's talk about the fragrance notes. The notes of the fragrance. Top notes of mint, bergamot, and lemon. And you definitely get the mintiness in combination with the bergamot and lemon. It reminds me a little bit of a fresh gelato in Italy when it's really warm, and you get the freshness of because of the coldness when you eat the sour ice cream. That's what comes to mind if I smell this. It has juniper berries, coriander and geranium in the mid notes, and again the juniper berries really elevate the freshness even further, but the coriander and the geranium give it a little bit more of a spiciness, but also more of an old school masculine fragrance vibe. Geranium most often is used in the the 70s, 80s kind of fragrances, and give it a little bit of a green rosy vibe, if you will. Base notes of rosemary, oak moss and sandalwood, and here we see again you get the rosemary giving it a little bit of a aromatic, greenish, minty kind of vibe in combination with the old school oak moss and a bit of a creamy sandalwood. Longevity and sillage of the fragrance, I would say it's both pretty right up in the middle. Longevity, I would say around 6-7 hours, something like that. So a work day, a little bit shorter perhaps. Also, it isn't that of a heavy scent, so if you want it to last longer and project more, you should definitely spray more on yourself. And projection is also not that great, quite moderate. I would say in the first hour, perhaps 2 feet, closing down, or perhaps even in half a feet after 1 or 2 hours. And it's really a shame. For online I read that this one actually is discontinued. And it's really a shame, for I think, especially nowadays with the kind of perfumery we have in the stores right now, departing from the masculine side and going into the sweet sometimes even overly sweet fragrances. I think it's a shame that these kinds of fragrances get discontinued. There are, of course, a lot of fragrances, real popular old school masculine fragrances like Draca Noir, Kairos, etc., etc., that aren't discontinued yet, at least. But I really like this one for its, you can see it, of course, on the release date. What did it say, 94? It's right in the middle, if you will, between the more modern perfumery, like the 2000s, 2010s, the more fresher fragrances, combined with the old school fragrance notes like oak moss, etc. It's just right on the border of going from old school masculine to fresh to gourmand and sweet era we are currently in, I would say. So if you can still find it, I would highly recommend trying it out, especially if you like the more fresher and old school kind of fragrances. And if you own this one or have tried this one, comment down below what you think about it. And I will not run out of this forever for, I have a 100 milliliter bottle, so... yeah, it's really nice. So definitely check it out if you can. And thank you for watching. Have a nice day. Ciao. This was XS by Paco Rabanne. Ciao.